guys, how's it going? Today I'm getting our little Volkswagen Up ready to sell. I use it all the time actually, but I use it too much in the sense that my M135 sits in the garage the whole time and I use the Volkswagen Up. Brilliant little car, we've had it since new. We purchased it in September 2013, so it's on a 63 plate. I'm going to go and use my local car wash. I tend not to use too much. I'm not really much of a car wash man if I can avoid it. I think it's probably only been cleaned or washed 10 times in the 3 and a bit years we've owned it. Right then, let's take this little car off to get washed. Or mini valeted, I guess. It needs a proper clean inside and out. The paintwork's actually in very good nick. The paint quality is actually very good. There's one sort of chip on the bonnet which is not great, but you know, it's 25,000 miles old, it's 3 and a bit years old. It's a fantastic little city car, I have to say. It's a brilliant little car. Volkswagen, you've made something quite special here. It's got a 1 litre 3-cylinder engine under the bonnet, and that comes in either 60 brake horsepower or 71, 72. This one is the really powerful 72 brake horsepower one. Let's talk about its bad points. Now, there's 2 bad points as far as I'm concerned. The driving position being one of them. It's not brilliant, no matter which shape or size you are. It's just not right. There needs to be reach adjustment on the steering column, and there's not. There's height adjustment, but there's no reach. So you kind of just never feel 100% comfortable when you're driving this. At least I don't, but I'm quite picky with my driving positions. I only really like what BMW offer you and what Porsche offer you on the whole. The next negative about this car is the fact that I wish, well, number one, so this is kind of 2 parts. Number one, that it had a little bit more power. A little bit, just an extra 10 horsepower or something. Just sometimes that would help. But number 2, and this would probably solve the number 1 part of my second bad point, if that makes sense, is that it had a 6-speed gearbox. I know it's only sort of, what is the Volkswagen Up? I think they start about £9,000–10,000. This was about 11.5 new. It was a fully loaded one, the Groove Up. But I wish it had a 6-speed box, because just having that 6th cog would give you more efficiency and be able to sort of push the other ratios a bit closer together and therefore give you a bit more performance. The only thing where this car does suffer is on motorways at the legal speed limit. It's okay, it's quite efficient. Anything above the legal speed limit, I've been told, it's not very efficient. But saying that, around town it's extremely efficient. So this puts me onto the good points about the car. It's extremely efficient, extremely compact and small. The steering lock's very good in it. I think the handling in this car is fantastic, and I remember when Clarkson actually tested one, not that I would ever go by anything that guy sort of says, because 1 minute he loves the car, the M135, next minute he hates the car, M135, so you can never sort of go by what Clarkson says, but he genuinely looked like he had fun in this car, and I completely can relate to that, because every time I get in this car I absolutely love it, I enjoy it. The 3-cylinder 1 litre unit has some character, as I'm about to demonstrate now. Look, listen, it's going to sing, and then a bit of power comes in right at the top there. So you really have to rev it to get some performance, but when you do abuse this engine, it becomes quite thirsty. So it's a good car, it's very efficient when you're just pootling around, but when you do push it, it becomes quite thirsty. But as I say, yeah, Clarkson found it very fascinating, very fun, and so do I. It is just a fun little car. The handling's great. It really turns in so well, as I'm demonstrating now in the roundabout. There's a bit of roll, but it turns. Now the only problem is, as we come into here, if you load it up too much and then put your foot on the accelerator, the traction controls come in. Now I'm just getting traction control. So that intervenes quite violently at times when it's wet on the road and you're sort of in a corner like that roundabout there and you floor it. Normally you'd get maybe a bit of torque steer or a bit of front push in a front wheel drive car like this, but in this car it just cuts the power, and sometimes off the lights as well. You can see I'm not very fast. I've only just managed to pip a bus and that's about all you do beat off the lights in this. I think it's got a 0 to 60 time of about 13.5 seconds. But it's not about that, and also it kind of proves, as I mentioned in my ST video recently, that the Fiesta ST video, it's not all about power and performance and figures. You can have fun in anything. You can have fun in this, which is a 70 brake horsepower car. Now, I wish you could disable the traction control, and apparently my good friend Sideways Sid, who had one of these as his first car, he managed to find the fuse that you could pull out that disabled traction control and stuff. Yeah, can you believe it? Sideways Sid disabling the traction control. What a surprise, eh? So yeah, he managed to disable it, and he said it completely transformed the car, which I can imagine, because you can feel the playfulness there, and then it just goes enough. So yeah. Anyway, we're at the car wash, so let's see what happens. So yeah, these guys are.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Hi, buddy. Yeah, good. Thanks. Outside and in, please. Thank you.
Inside, outside.
Yes, thanks. So I'm getting number 3. What does that give me? That gives me a hand wash, not to be confused with a hand job. A wax, a hand finish. Oi, that's even better. That's what she said. Tyre dressing, windows in and out, interior vacuumed, ashtrays cleaned, I don't smoke, interior fragrance, dashboard polished, and door panels dressed. Wow. Well, there you go. So that is what we're going to get done today. How exciting is that? And that is the sound of a jet wash. Alright, car wash done. They did a pretty shit job. Carpets look like shit. The outside, they missed parts everywhere, which confuses me because there was about 6 guys working on the car. It's the size of a postage stamp. You would think they would clean everything pretty well. Always take a microfiber cloth or towel with you to a car wash. So I always do, because then I'll pull over in a car park like I have just done now and spent an extra 10 minutes cleaning all the bits that they've missed while the car's still wet and got sort of water running. It's just a good way to clean and sort of mop up the sills quickly. It just makes the car look much better. Also, I'm a little bit OCD in that respect, I guess, as I clean the dashboard that they also missed, which I'm sure on the description, there was actually a bit on the description, I'm sure, that said dashboard polished. It's got lots of toys, this one. It's fully loaded. It's the Groove Up model, so it's got 400 watt 8 speaker Fender sound system. I think those facts are right, or thereabouts. It's got the Maps and More mapping system, or nav system, which I think all the apps come with, but it's really good. It's got a great sort of in-depth trip computer on there. You get Bluetooth for your phone. You also get, you can play your music, you can stream your music through Bluetooth, which is fantastic on a car at this price point. It's got the world's best heated seats, and again, Clarkson touched upon them when he reviewed it on Top Gear. Honestly, there's only 2 levels. On number 2, leave it on there for about 2 or 3 minutes and your arse will definitely be on fire. It has sat-nav in the Maps and More system, which is pretty good. Actually has traffic on there as well. The seats are very comfortable, aside from the slightly odd driving position, which I don't find brilliant, but it's not bad. The seats are very good. There's a tiny bit of support, but they're just, and they look quite basic, but they offer comfort and they're very good. Driven this, the longest journey we've taken this car was right down to the bottom of Cornwall, so it was a good 5.5 hour drive there, and we had no issues. It was great. And even though it's a small car on the outside, I'm a big guy, I'm 6'3.5", and I fit in here no problem. You know, there's plenty of cabin space at the front. In the back, with me driving, it's a bit of a squeeze to get 2 adults back there, but you can do it. We've done it many times, so it's great. Reliability wise, it has been completely faultless. We've had the car 3 and a bit years. We've done 24,500 miles in it. The only issue we've had was there was a warranty issue, which was the actual holder for the Maps and More nav device, and that got replaced under warranty on its first service. Aside from that, absolutely nothing, no hiccups. We've left it for sort of 3.5 weeks in the winter, no flat batteries. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed our little adventure today. I'll be doing more of these vloggy things throughout the year. Please remember to subscribe and like this video. Every like and every subscription really helps me. I know I bang on about it, I know all YouTubers do, but honestly, that's what motivates me to do more and more, is seeing those thumbs up and also seeing my subscriber count rise and rise, which it really is at the moment, which is fantastic. I will speak to you soon. Cheers guys, thanks a lot. Let's get rid of this horrible scent thing. It doesn't smell in here at all. Neither of us smoke, and no pets or animals in here. Although no, I did have a dog in here the other day, just briefly. Can't remember her name. Whee!